Marung bimai, dungu nuai Mitch, naya Dungari binai. Good afternoon, my name's Mitch. I'm from Dungari, or a Dungari brother. So first off, I'd like to just thank Adam Goods for having a bit of a yarn with us, not like we got to talk back, but... and I think the first thing I'd like to say is just how accurate it is to understand how wholesome our culture is, and understanding our dances and understanding our stories that come with it. For the last a bit over a year, I've been going out with some elders out in Western Sydney, and that's more education than I've ever had in my life, and I've spent a decent amount of time at university, so if anyone was thinking about doing that sort of thing, I would highly recommend it, because there's more education there than you'll ever see anywhere else. So I ended up, as you can tell, I'm not as baby-faced as some of the others here, so I ended up coming to go quite late, really. I only started at the start of 2020, yeah, and that was due to at the time I'd actually never heard of the Go Foundation, which is a travesty on its own part, but I had some troubles that happened throughout my life at that point. So in mid-2019, my dad got diagnosed with a stage 4 neuroendocrine cancer, which is to put it simply, it's a very aggressive cancer that there's no cure for. And then in November in 2019, after getting back from chemo, my parents' house burnt down in the fires up in Kempsey. And so that obviously wasn't a good start to go on for 2020. So then all of a sudden Corona hit, and a lot of jobs were then put off, and I myself was one of those people at the University of Sydney where they said that we're really happy to have you, but we want to save money. So that's where I got the shaft, and then at that time I fought with my father a bit, because he didn't want me to give up university to go home, and he then, he then made sure I'd stayed in Sydney, but to go back for all his chemo treatments was really hard. So I tried to then get a lot of money together to be able to do that, and it was near impossible finding work that was allowing me to travel every 2-3 weeks to be up there for a week and then be back in Sydney, and having to do a PhD at that same time was quite tricky in its own side as well. So I ended up reaching out, and by happenstance, a lady from, I think it was Public School Foundation, something like that, she said, look, we don't do people in university, but we kind of know someone who might be able to, and then they put me in touch with Go, and I spoke to Shirley at the time and Mark at the time, and they were like, yeah, boom, let's do it. And I can only say about how much that helped me, because that allowed, for me not to get beaten in by my dad, but meaning that I could stay in Sydney and continue doing my research and allow myself to finish what I need to finish there, and allow Dad to not have to worry about the fact that I had to go home every couple of weeks and might miss out on work or anything. And that gave me a lot of flexibility that allowed me to complete and finish. And I honestly wouldn't have been able to finish my thesis if I hadn't had a Go scholarship. And beyond words, I say thank you. But and I think looking at how I got to where I was, I guess as I said, I started learning a lot more over the last year and a bit, but as my father ended up passing away in November, and one of the biggest things about my dad is that he was purely genuine. Everything about him was the way it was, you could tell who he was as soon as you met him, and I think that as far as foundations and everything goes, you can tell that the people who work here, the people who are part of it, are genuine. And I think that makes it a place that you want to be part of, instead of somewhere that just throws money at you and says, all right, now get me, I don't know, awards or whatever it is. And I think that from my side, I can only just be extremely happy with the fact that I was able to be part of the Go Foundation in such a short time, but also hopefully we'll be able to continue on with Go and maybe help, I know, these much bright sparked people here. So all I can say is to both of you and to everyone that works at Go and everyone here tonight is just thank you, Murumbu. So thank you.